Nothing infuriates me more than seeing bosses who don't know how to listen to their employees and properly assess situations. Check this out.
Frank, how are you doing?
Good, Pat. Thank you for coming into my office today.
Thank you.
The reason why I'm bringing you into my office is to discuss a situation that occurred this morning. You were on the phone with a customer, and apparently you were being loud and rude towards this customer. Okay? And because of our zero tolerance policy when it comes to customer service and servicing our clients, I'm going to write you up for that issue. Now, two of your colleagues came into me to express their concern regarding this issue, this incident this morning with me. And for that reason, I'm moving forward with providing you with a final written warning. It's a zero tolerance policy. Okay?
Frank, that's not the story at all.
You know,
This gentleman was hearing impaired and continually kept saying, "Can you speak louder? Can you speak louder?" I
Okay.
was not rude to him. Frank, I've worked for this
Listen.
company for 3 years, and I've had
It
nothing
really-
but excellent performance.
it really doesn't matter what you have to say. I have two credible witnesses coming to me with this concern. Okay? Really doesn't matter what you have to say.
That's honestly the most annoying part right there. He sits down with her and says, "We're going to discuss what happened," and then proceeds to accuse her of the situation, which he didn't witness, but he supposedly had two credible witnesses for, and then wasn't willing to listen to anything that she was trying to say to try to explain herself and defend herself, and immediately went to a final written warning.
I have made my decision. I'm going to write you up for this incident, and this is your final warning. If this occurs again, another incident like this will and can lead up to your termination, okay? So at this point, I do want you to sign this disciplinary notice
What a load of crap.
that occurred this morning.
It was not an issue that occurred this morning. I was not rude, and I'm sorry.
Look, Pat, it really doesn't matter.
That's not
what you
fair.
have to say.
It's not
You know,
fair.
That's absolutely not fair.
To be fair, okay? This is one of those challenging moments in your life, and I am writing you up for that issue this morning.
Frank, I've worked for this company for several years. I've never had but excellent performance ratings.
You know,
And now you're telling me
We all-
because
we
you
all-
go out with
you
your
know what?
cohorts for
We all fall
happy
off the
hour.
wagon at some point. You just had a moment this morning, and it's affecting you.
Well,
Okay, go ahead and sign the document acknowledging.
no,
That you have
Frank,
been
I
written
am
down?
not going to sign it, and I do ask to speak to somebody higher
Okay.
than yourself.
Good for her, honestly.
Note on here that you refuse to sign the
That's
document, and we will allow you to speak with someone else.
Thank you.
Damn right. There's so many things wrong with this situation. As I mentioned before, he sits down with her and says that we're going to discuss some events that happened this morning, which will result in you getting written up, and then does not allow her to defend herself or explain her side of the story whatsoever, and completely taking for face value the two credible sources who reported this incident, and keeps telling her that it really doesn't matter what you have to say. And keep in mind, she's worked for this company for 3 years. So that should be enough for Frank to know her well enough to be able to read between the lines in situations like this. Because look, at the end of the day, no one at work is your friend. And if for some reason someone was out to get you and they decided to put in a false report about something, then it is your boss's responsibility to not only hear your side of the story, but really properly investigate situations like this. And I don't know if this is a call center environment or what the case may be, but I would imagine that phone calls are recorded for quality assurance, and that Frank should have been able to actually listen to these calls and hopefully get a better understanding of what had happened, and maybe even reach out to the customer to ask about it as well. It's not hard to do. He could literally call the customer and say, "Hey, Mr. Customer, I understand that there was a situation this morning that happened with one of my call center reps, and I'd like to get your side of the story and apologize for any inconvenience or frustration or upset that the situation may have caused you." And if anything that she was saying was correct, it would be very easily brought to light to further defend her. Bosses like this absolutely do not deserve to be bosses, because you need to be willing to understand a situation in its entirety. You shouldn't be taking reports for face value without doing your own due diligence and actually being willing to have a proper discussion with the person that you are writing up. And I am so happy that she said that she was going to go over his head, because 100% she deserves to actually be heard and have a chance to defend herself after 3 years working at a company. I don't care what anybody says, 3 years is a long time to put into a company, and you deserve respect. And clearly, if this was going to be her first write up, something's a little bit funny here if someone's trying to report her for something that's BS. So that's about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And hey, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button.